Liberty Hill Comics. Welcome to episode 81, the greatest comic book conservation live show on the planet. We got a great show for you tonight. Let's get buckled up and let's go.
Hey guys.
Hey, Larry. How's the
Hey.
hotel? How's your travel going?
I have my nice Japanese mineral water here. Everything's
Very
good.
Nice. They
Yes,
take
and
care of you.
They actually, the Japanese people are wonderful people. They take very good care. So I
Yeah.
like it here. But yes, I am broadcasting live here. It is a little after 10:30 in the morning here in Narita, Japan, just outside Tokyo.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Yay.
I
Very
love
cool.
Japan.
I like Japan too. Nice
Yeah.
people.
I think South Korea is even more inviting somehow.
I spent a lot of time in South Korea, but it's just like getting over to Japan. Now I just happen to have this is where my trip took me. So
Yeah, of course. Awesome. Well,
Nice.
great to have you with us. I hope your travel's going well. Hope you've had a great week.
so far so good, sir.
Yeah. Well, he is Captain Larry of Flying L Comics. Find him on YouTube. Check out his content dropping weekly. Check him out. Best
Actually-
Communication is on Instagram. Yeah.
Yep, that's correct. And I'll be dropping a new video here right after we're done with this show.
So check
Oh.
that out.
Come
Premiere.
see
Premiere.
Superman number 8.
Ooh, that's an early boy.
Big boy book.
Yeah. Big boy or girl book. He
That'd be
is
correct. That guy. No, that
Phil of Phantom. Well, it says Phantom Restoration, but it's actually
Yeah.
Phantom Comics Studios.
You'll
That's
fix
right.
that.
How you been, Phil?
Oh, doing. You know what? I'm gonna say it, but in a really positive. I'm drowning in comics. It's awesome.
That's good.
So-
That's good.
Yeah.
You got to go somehow. You may as well drown in comics, man.
Hey, it's what a way to go. No complaints really. Yeah, I mean all that smell of the acid hydrolysis as I'm just being covered in all the paper that just smells incredible.
Hopefully, there's a little vanilla smell in there too.
Indeed. Yeah. So as mentioned, I'm right on the. I just have like 30 minutes left of housekeeping on my website to officially transfer the domain name over and a few other loose ends, but I just haven't had a chance to do that yet. So I'm still on this weird operating under the old name with the new name too. So, but coming to you live as always, as you can see by my office, the line of Brooklyn and Queens here in New York City.
Very
So,
nice.
Happy to be here talking comics with you, fine gentlemen, on this wonderful Sunday night.
And I'm hosting from, as always, an undisclosed location in the Texas Hill Country. I hope everybody had a wonderful week. I am starting to get into the Christmas spirit. You can see we have decorations up over
You
here.
did decorate.
Oh, yeah.
And well, I didn't. Let's be fair.
Okay.
The distaff members of the family are decorating, but I did go out to see a showing of the Nutcracker last night. And we are picking up we're going to go cut down our own tree day after tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My oldest daughter's graduating from Rice. We're going to go to commencement. And then there's a Christmas tree farm between Houston and the Hill Country. And we're going to stop and we're going to saw down a tree.
You're going to have
Drag it
quite
home.
a month.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's a great month. Let's just float it here because last year we did a year-end wrap-up. We invited everybody that we had ever had as a guest host. And we asked them to just come on and talk about the year, favorite things they did, most interesting thing, most exciting thing, what they're looking forward to in the new year. I was thinking about 2 weeks from today. That would make it December 21st. Is that too close to Christmas? I'm saying it out loud because I'm
Mm.
kind of wondering. I want, like, many of the folks we would invite are in the chat, so
That's a
I
travel
figured
day for me.
I
So
figured we may as well bring it up with
Uh,
everybody. Okay,
yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that one.
Yeah, maybe it would
So it
have to
would
be the following week.
well, like a mid between Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah,
What would
because
that
there was
make?
only going to be one
20
show left,
That would
probably.
make it
Too.
the 28th,
Yep,
if I'm doing my
Yeah.
math correctly,
that is correct.
right? How do we
Yeah.
feel about that?
Yeah, the 21st for me is definitely out.
Okay.
I'll be traveling to Germany for Christmas
So-
on that day.
So if you've guest hosted on the show and you're in the chat right now, I see at least a few of you.
Yes, so do I.
Shout out if the 28th works for you. And that would be, yeah, actually I think if I'm remembering correctly, that's actually what we did last year anyway. It was between Christmas and New Year's, right? Yeah, that sounds perfect.
I don't remember it
I
because
think it
I don't
was.
think
I think it was.
I could make it.
It
yeah.
was. Yeah. Okay. So let us know if that works for you, and we'll do some other housekeeping as we go. But let's thank this show's sponsors:
Yes, we have
John
we have several
Carter.
sponsors.
Salesboy Comics, You Pluck My Last Nerve, Collecting Chaos, Gorilla Monkey 3K, all donating so that you can see this live, ad-free. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Check them out.
Yes.
Give them a thanks, give them a thumbs up, go check out their content, give them a like over there. We really appreciate it. And I know the viewers really appreciate it because I understand watching this live with ads is super annoying. So that said, let's, who is watching live? Collecting Chaos is here. The aforementioned Salesboy Comics is also here. Rick Gomez, welcome. Don Carter's here. Thank you again. The Professor Peter Alachi's here. JCP is here. Jason, the Archivist Adrift, is here. Gorilla Monkey 3K is here. Pluck My Last Comic is here. I guess they forced a lot of people to change their names. I mean, I kind of like You Pluck My Last Comic. That's cool. Let us know if you want us to change your sponsorship or leave your old name. I know Gorilla Monkey 3K said leave it. And if that changes, by the way, let us know. Who else is here? My buddy Mike is here. Welcome, Mike. The professor says the 28th is good for him, and it's good for Jason. And oh, awesome. Thanks for the super chat. We have our first sponsor for next week already.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. Collecting Chaos. All right. Well, we have an exciting show for you. And we're kicking off with a very early issue of Superman in the Golden Age. And then we're going to follow it up with some timely goodness. It'll be timely because it'll be right after
there's a hint
our
there.
first segment. And that's going to be super fun. Alan C., welcome to the show. So without further ado, let's go. This is a wild one, guys.
Yeah, it is.
I had a lot of fun with this.
What is this?
Superman 4 Conserved 1.0 sold this past week, and I'm kind of pumped to talk about it. Maybe we always have some smarty pants that know more than I do, even though I did some research. So I'm looking forward to hearing from the chat on this one as well. And thank you, Salesboy. I appreciate you for the super chat. We already have 2 sponsors for next week.
Thank you.
So
Nice.
Superman number 4. This is an interesting, very early book, right? So this is still with the hand-drawn logo, still Simon & Schuster stories. Superman can't fly yet. He can jump into the upper atmosphere, though. So he's sort of, his powers are expanding, but they're not the full suite that he would have later. Interesting about this cover. So this CGC calls this what do they call it? The second Superman appearance?
No, that can't be.
Not Superman. I'm sorry.
Luther.
Lex Luthor. I'm talking about.
okay.
Lex Luthor.
Okay.
Do they call it the second Lex Luthor appearance?
Second appearance of Luther.
Yeah.
Two
So-
Luther stories.
Yeah. So it's interesting. Apparently, there's sort of coincident stories. Maybe I'm not sure. Maybe this one actually hit the newsstand earlier than the action one, but this one sort of in continuity is after, sort of like a Gambit type of first appearance. I'm not really sure. This is why I said maybe someone can clue me in. I did not have the time to run that little factoid down yet, but it's very early. It's more or less coincident with his first appearance. By the way, this fella with no hair on the cover, this is actually not Lex Luthor. It's a professor who's a recurring character, I believe. Professor Martinson, maybe. Luthor, in these early days,
He had hair, didn't he?
still has this red hair. So here's
Yeah, that's
Luthor
what I
in
thought.
in the purple suit.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is Luthor really is created here in early days as the first kind of recurring villain for Superman, and the first one that sort of survives, the first one that is sort of created to be his equal. And, you know, it's clear that he can go toe to toe with Superman with his technology. Also interesting, in this issue, he has an earthquake machine. I did not realize that the sort of plot twist to the Superman movie from when I was a young man goes all the way back to like Luthor's second appearance. I thought that was really interesting. And, you know, I don't know if you guys knew that, like historic
No.
tie-in.
No?
No, I did not. I just remember Gene Hackman and his
Yeah.
in his earthquake machine.
Right? Yeah, it goes all the way back to, you know, basically coincident with the creation of Lex Luthor by Siegel and Schuster. So I thought that was really neat. Thank you so much. The super
Thanks,
chat
Jason.
still rolling in.
Thanks, Jason.
You plucked my last nerve. And Jason, the Archivist Adrift, says, huge thanks to Professor Peter and Don Carter for their experimentation with Gellin gum. Seeing fantastic. Oh man, it's everybody's getting in on the action. We're odd men out.
I know. I have
videos
not
with
even
you.
tried it.
Same.
I have not tried it.
Same.
That's awesome. Well, I had to make so many gels for my PhD study that if I never
not
make
your
another
favorite thing.
gel, it'd be all right with me. That said, I do think it's a phenomenal technique. I do want to get around to doing it. Just got to get a few other things off my plate first. Yeah. So anyway, super interesting. It is one of the big fat issues, right? This is a 68 pager. There are 3 full stories, 2 of which are Luthor stories, and it is an impressive book if you flip through the whole thing. Our particular one, well, actually, let's go. Oh, did I? Oh, I don't have. Somehow I
You
don't
lost a
have-
slide.
Oh man.
No, for real. Oh, they're out of order. Sorry, guys and gals. Here, they're just out of order. We'll do them like this. This is the slide I wanted next. I just have it out of order. So we normally do the population census. Superman, although only being around for about a year and a half at this point, is super popular, selling a lot of books, and so despite seduction of the innocent, despite book banning and burning, despite paper drives during World War II, a fair number of these survived. So Universal, 233, 20 qualified, 90 restored, plus the conserved issue. So CGC counts 344 all told. That's more than we normally see for the Golden Age. That said, median grade is way down at 4.0, and there are, I think, none surviving above a 9.2. So as much as quite a few copies have survived, very few have survived in high grade. Now, the book we're talking about today is not a high grade book. It's a 1.0. I went to the price guides, Go Collect, and looked for comps. Here's actually the most recent comp. Now, this sold September 12th, 2025. This is a 1.0 universal with light tan to off-white pages. This was offered by Reese's Rare Comics as a fixed price with, buy it now with make an offer. And so this deal closed at $1,700. Now, fixed price usually isn't truly fair market value. They're usually a little bit above, and Go Collect notes that because if you look at the spread of sales, again, now this is a book that has, over 300 copies, over 200 universal. So we have a few sales to look at here. There was a sale in the last year for $1,700 at 1.0. That's the Reese's Rare, Reese's Rare Comics fixed price on eBay. However, there was an auction result of a 2.0 that sold for $1,380 literally in the last 30 days. So Go Collect is their algorithm is trying to make sense of this, right? Like, how is a 2.0 worth $1,400 and a 1.0 worth $1,700? So they've done a little bit of smoothing here, but there is price compression at the bottom. We understand that. I think that their algorithm has it correct here. If a 2.0 in an auction format sells for $1,400, the fair market value of a 1.0 is not $1,700, especially because that $1,700 was September and the 2.0 sold literally in the last 30 days. So I took their algorithm's value, the $1,500. Look, there's no perfect answer here. I think you could say $1,300. I also think you could reasonably say $1,700. It's in that ballpark somewhere. So I used the $1,500 that their algorithm produces for our comparison for later today. So if you disagree, you can make your own charts. You can at me if you want, but that's what I decided to do. So $1,500 going in for a relatively rare book, right? I mean, relative to certainly Hulk 181, this is a rare book, but relative to the Golden Age, it's actually one of the more plentiful examples we have, especially pre-war Golden Age. There aren't very many pre-war Golden Age books with over 200 universal in the census. I can't think of any titles other than Superman, actually, because I don't even know if Action has that many copies in the census around this time. Here's where
it was graded recently.
Yeah, and sold like literally in the last week. Here's where it gets really interesting, guys.
I'm already seeing it, yeah.
Yeah. As we said, spring of 1940, pre-war book, grade is 1.0, cream to off-white pages, conserved. Conservation includes staples replaced, but greater notes include laminated cover.
Yeah.
It
was there was a big phase where people were going through that thinking, oh, okay, I'm just going to laminate my book.
It'll protect it
forever, and it'll protect it forever.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're correct. It will protect it forever, but the value of said book is not going to be very much.
So I'm trying to wrap my head around this, and I guess what my understanding here is, and that CGC treats the lamination as damage.
Yeah, because it's added.
But universal in the same way that they treat tape, I suppose.
Well, if you think about it, it is tape. It's just a big, giant piece of tape.
I mean, it sort of depends on what kind of lamination you use. Some of them are heat activated. Like, there's all kind of different ways to laminate something.
I would guess this would probably be one of those heat laminated ones.
Mm-hmm.
You can't remove it. Well, You can, but not from a comic book. But
I don't
That's
think
funny.
so.
I didn't realize. I thought this was conserved because of the lamination first, and I was like, that is a choice. So I think that's interesting. But no, it's because of the staples.
Yeah.
So-
yeah, but
So
the,
think
the,
about
lo-
this.
the
So
the-
what happens? Like it occurs to me, you crack this, you just remove the staples. The grade is still a 1.0,
Yeah.
and now you're
Correct.
Yeah.
universal, right?
Yeah. Yep.
correct.
Just a thought.
Yeah, you're 100% correct. If it wasn't laminated, and just looking at it close up, it presents very well. Definitely more than the one. The one is from the lamination.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say
It's
this would be
considered-
probably someplace maybe even a 4.
I would
So
say
if,
we'll
yeah.
look at it closer and we can do
yeah.
guesses again, but I would actually say even higher than a 4. I've definitely seen 4s.
Well,
way-
you know I always err on the low side. So
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is good, but
Looks like I mean, yeah, like a 5 almost. I mean, it is kind of
yeah,
crazy. that
yeah. I
it's
would
not-
say realistically, yeah, probably. But yeah, pull the staple out. It's not laminated. You still got a detached cover, 3.5 at the max. It's still the lamination is what really killed
Yeah.
this book.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going through chat now. I didn't actually intend it that way, but that's that's a good one. Guilty. Paper drives right up until the early 60s. Yeah.
I'd go undercover as a person collecting paper in a paper drive. Hey, do you have any comics for collecting paper?
Yeah.
The perfect sleuth. Yes.
Reese Mike does. We shout out to the whole Reese family. They're mainstays in the comic book marketplace. Great people. Jim's always got great stats for us. Batman 3 to 6 are all over 200 Universal. Yep.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Nice.
Here's another interesting one. This book is on eBay now for $17.60. Matt
Ooh.
Miller, thanks
Ah.
for joining. Thanks for the info. That may give some info for guesses for later. Yeah, here's a good point. The professor says once you laminate the cover with varnish, it's over, right? Yeah.
Yep.
It's I can see how CGC got to the rules they have. But sometimes they create these very bizarre corner cases. So
Well, there's always been a huge
I-
argument about tape being universal.
Yeah,
And
course.
that's a battle that will probably continue to be fought, but never won.
Yeah.
Gorilla Monkey 3K, thank you again for additional sponsorship. We appreciate you. I had an old Green Lantern laminated PGX, gave it Universal. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the point we're making here is that CGC
Mhm.
gives Universal for laminated, which I didn't actually know. I basically had to posit it from doing the research for this book, but it makes sense.
Mm.
Again, like
Yeah, it does.
if you think of it as basically tape, then tape gets this pass. At least now they're treating tape as damage, right? And so
Exactly.
to the point, and we'll look at it now. Here's the book. I wasn't sure what this said. Like,
Say somebody's name.
yeah, I mean, I see Paulette,
Paulette.
but
yeah,
I don't
see
know if
Paulette.
it says
Armand.
Armand.
Armand. Yeah, I think
mean,
that's
that's
what
what
it
I
says. Armand,
thought.
Paulette.
Would that mean like
That's what I
maybe
see.
they're brothers and sisters, or maybe that's
No, Paulette's the last name.
Paulette is a
Yeah,
last
exactly.
name. I
Yeah.
never met
Yeah,
anybody
Paulette's
called
the
Paulette.
last name.
Okay. There you go. Well, we have Armand's book here. And a little bit of foxing, right? But look, the corners are pretty nice. There's nothing missing. I don't see any creases. I mean,
It
I
looks
guess
generally nicer than a lot of these that you see, despite
Yeah.
the lamination. So
yeah,
Yeah.
there's some kind of print or reverse print or something on the professor's jacket here.
yeah, you can see
Oh,
an
I see it.
Edward. It's
Yeah.
an Edward with an address.
That's what it looks
Yeah.
like. Yeah. So I don't know if that was an address from an adjacent piece of paper that sat over this, or what that is, but that's damage, right, of some sort, lifted ink there, but you got a little bit of a spine roll. I mean, that might be a real bugger to take out once you laminate your book.
Yeah, I would say no.
But the spine roll isn't so severe that you can't fit it in the Golden Age case. So
Yeah. You could probably take it out easier than you'd think, because I mean,
Yeah.
once all the interior's set back in place, you're really just forcing the cover. And if staples are holding the cover to the interior, then it's, you know, it could just look a little off and kind of
I just, you know, the reason I say it is I don't know if this is heat set lamination. I just don't know how many times you can reheat and reset that.
Yeah.
It may be super easy. I just
I'm
haven't
not sure you
tried.
can do it even once. I've never tried it because I know you'd have to heat it.
Right. And so what if it crazes or, you know, doesn't work out? I don't know.
Have either of you pressed a book where there's like a lot of tape on the spine, but you don't want to take the tape off, but you're still just trying to press the book back?
No.
So I feel like
No.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
I think I did it.
I take the tape off.
We have
I did
different
it-
clientele than you do.
Really? No, I did it like really early on, I think, before I was ambitious enough to take tape off. So it was kind of seeing what it was. And I there was always some reversion because the tape was always pulling on the cover and wanting it to set back where it was. So yeah, I could see this actually being pretty difficult, and the lamination maybe kind of holding it back.
Right.
You got a point.
JCP says Superman looks a bit yellow. Does this happen because of lamination or in spite of lamination?
Could
Who knows?
who knows? Yeah.
I mean,
It might have been yellow
lamination.
before lamination.
I can say this in conservation circles, lamination has come full circle. So 40 years ago, lamination was actually considered in the scientific conservation literature to be a acceptable way to preserve something. Over time, it fell out of favor mostly because it is irreversible. The plastic, there's different kinds of lamination, but the most like relevant heat set type with plastic, the plastic literally melts and embeds itself in the surface of the paper and then cools. So it is considered absolutely irreversible. And so it was considered to be archival at the time. So my guess, and it is a guess, is that it actually preserves quite well. This was probably laminated some 40 years after it was published, and it had already yellowed some. Probably that's where you got the foxing from on the front cover. And it's been preserved since then, but again, preserved in a completely non-reversible fashion. So that's why it is no longer considered acceptable in the conservation sciences. And here's the bottom of the back cover. You see here again, some kind of a stamp, and I'm not sure what. Gliovine?
No.
No idea. But you see it twice here or three times here on the lower half of the back cover. But again, I don't know. This is a 5.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Give or take. Before lamination, and then lamination makes this a 1. But also, like we talked about, I think given the rules here, you crack this, all you have to do is remove the staple. It's still a 1 because a stapleless book, you know, could still be like a 1.5 or something. And this one is, you know, so the lamination is still setting the grade here, right? And if you know better than I do on a stapleless book, if you look it up in your guide, let me know. But I'm just guessing. So there it is. What do you guys think it sold for?
I'm going to abstain because I know exactly what it sold for.
Okay.
I was watching it.
Guesses from the chat?
I'm gonna say 350. No, I'm just kidding. 350. I'm gonna go with $1,500.
$1,500. Okay. Collecting Chaos is at $950. I mean, you know, if you're looking for this book, I don't know. What if you're somebody who's like, I like to read my books, you want to crack it and read it? This laminated one might be the best copy you could possibly find for the money, right?
Indeed.
It's already durable. It's
I'll go read the
preserved.
digital version.
It's preserved. Yeah, but you can't feel
It's not the
you can't
same.
see
Yeah.
it. You can't
And
smell it.
Well,
No.
you still can't feel it. It's covered in lamination.
You
Well,
can
just
feel all the
cover.
interior pages.
Yeah.
I don't think
Open
they're
it up and
laminated.
watch the pieces fall out.
No, you got cream to off white.
Cream to off-white. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine.
Okay, we got our
let's
guesses
see.
coming in.
We got some, now the guesses are coming in. Here we go. All right, what do we have? 2,200, 1.7 Ks, 1280 from Gorilla Monkey 3K. That was JCP at 2,200, the Professor at 1,700, Mike at 1,700 as well, Rick Gomez 600, Ben Stewart 1,100. You plucked my last comic at 1,475. 800 from Salesboy. The Archivist Idris is again playing reverse prices right rules at 1749.99. Thank you so much, Jason. You make me laugh at least once every episode. Vulu, welcome, is at 1250. Bronzeville playing the game by the prices right rules at 1501. And did you give a guess, Phil?
Yeah, 1,500.
All right, 1,500.
1,500 big ones.
I'll do the drum roll, and then
I'll click
advance
next.
the slide. Here we go.
All right. It's a lot of pressure. I don't know. A lot of responsibility. I don't know if I can do it. Hey. Oh man. Oh, but I'm Max. I was wrong. Boo. Boo.
Yeah, I was watching this one, and it's just like, the lamination, because I knew I couldn't take it off, and I just had to walk away from that.
Yep.
I don't know. So I'm not in the market for this book. This is not like, at this point in my life, I'm collecting very specific things that I try not to deviate much, and that allows me to really chase
But when you see
the finest quality, books in my so this isn't something I'm chasing. That said, if I was, I'd be all over this book personally.
Yeah, because anytime you see a single digit Superman come up for auction, that's hen's teeth right there. You just don't see it.
About. Yeah, and this is an actual Simon and Schuster book. These, I mentioned it before, but they have a different quality. These pre-war Superman and action stories, and here you get 68 pages of nothing but Superman. I mean, this is a lot of book. This is a lot of great Simon and Schuster action. And I mentioned the Earthquake Machine, but that's just, I think Luther throws like 4 or 5 or 6 different inventions at him, all of which, confound Superman. So I think it's a heck of a book. I love the hand-drawn logo here. For those of you playing at home, the logo becomes normalized with issue number 6 of Superman, and then it's constant throughout the entire Golden Age after that. Prior to that, they were all hand-drawn. I mean, I love it. I think this was a steal, frankly. Again, I'm not in the market for this, so I'm not chasing it. But if I was in the market for this book, I would have been all over this. And again, if you want Universal, crack it and pull the staples out.
Actually, I think that's a brilliant move, because it would be Universal.
You'd have the prettiest 1.0 in the block too, because I mean, come on, for a 1, you're gonna have some serious defects in here. My eyes can't lie to me. I mean, I'm kind of okay with this. It's sacrilege for it to be laminated, but damn, if I was in the market for an entry level copy of this book at a one, you're like, it's only $1,000. You're like, come on, it's kind of a no brainer.
I think
Well, if
so.
somebody ever comes up with a way to remove heat lamination, then
No. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, at
but
the end of the day,
I think I believe that the adhesive's embedded into the paper
Yeah.
and the ink.
it is embedded. But as I was saying earlier, I believe this is archival.
Yep.
So as long as you don't want to remove it, it's not
Yeah.
damaging. It's not further damaging the paper. It's not degrading the paper. The paper
It will
is now
not
preserved.
deteriorate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And,
anyway, this one gets a thumbs up from me.
Yeah.
For whatever
It's a
it's worth, you know.
I think it's a cool book. I would just add one side thing too. I think just the potential of finding an incomplete copy that's maybe missing the centerfold.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like, dang, you could take the whole interior from this, put it with the other cover, make a complete copy, and then like frame just the cover as it being laminated as an artifact. Where it's like you wouldn't normally do that, but in that case, kind of what else are you going to do with it? Because it's capped. It's such a low grade. So
Oh yeah, lots of potential here.
yeah.
I don't want to get sued by PGX, but there were a couple of really funny PGX.
Yeah, I saw that.
There were a couple of really funny PGX comments. Those of you that have been watching the channel for a while know that I went at them hard for some restoration that they missed, and I called that specific grading job garbage, and I stand by that. But I don't want to make like broad, everybody can make a mistake. They may make more than other companies.
Yeah, it's okay to say.
But yeah, I don't want to disparage them generally. I'm very happy to disparage them specifically on that crummy job that they did with that restored first appearance of the Wasp in Tales to Astonish. But go check that out if you want to hear me badmouth them. Oh, I actually, what's funny? I actually had people comment on that video and chastise me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How could you, Paul?
Yeah. Well, and part of it was they were like, "Who do you think you are?" And I was like, "Look, I know what laminated books are. I know what restoration is. But just basically to humor that person, I did send that book into CGC and let it come back, which I didn't have to do, but come back in restored grade just to say, okay, you can disparage me if you want, but the professionals at CGC also recognize that it was restored
for the exact same thing.
And the folks at PGX somehow missed a shellacked cover. But
yeah, it's kind of hard to miss. I'm sorry.
Right?
Yep.
Well, thanks to everybody at home who played the game. Let's see. I didn't go back and look, but Salesboy claims King James won. 72%, I think, is solid, and I think makes sense for this book.
Yeah.
Now, I think this is probably a polarizing book.
Yeah, it is. Original costume, cover appearance.
Some of us love the fact that it's preserved and looks amazing for a 1.0. You're never going to see a 1.0 that nice again, I don't think. And, some people are just like, ick, I would never buy a laminated cover. This book is destroyed. I get it. And that's what makes a market.
Yucky. Right? Yep.
That's what makes a market. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that.
Clearly there's no right way
to
collect. Yeah, I mean, look, someone valued that book at that amount of money. So
sure, there's probably more than one.
Well, yeah. I didn't realize that this same book is back on eBay at $1,700. So was that a dealer just saying this is a steal? I can easily sell this.
Oh yeah.
I don't know who's offering it. I missed that little bit of info. But so maybe this was just a dealer who intends to flip it, and we can watch and see if they're successful, right? So,
well, some people want to do that. I just sold a whole string of conserved books that I did.
Yeah.
it wasn't a week later. They're all up on you are on eBay.
Oh,
Excuse me,
your
on
work
eBay for
is
sale.
back up with higher prices.
Yep,
Nice.
much higher prices. In fact, one was even double what the guy paid for it. And I wish him luck.
Sure, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Nice.
You know what?
Ben
They bought it.
Stewart's
They want
in
to
the
flip
ick
it.
camp. Ben, you don't have to apologize for being in the ick camp. There's no one correct way to collect, and that's why we're super inclusive, and we're super I will never disparage other fandoms. You may hear me say it's not for me. It's not my cup of tea. That's fine, but everybody's entitled to like this stuff that they like, and they're not going to be disparaged by me. That is the midpoint of our show, and this is where we remind you to give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, subscribe to Flying L Comics, subscribe to all the channels for all of our sponsors and all of our friends, show them lots of love, enjoy the show. Thank you for being here. If this is not enough comic book conservation content for you and you need more, go to Facebook.
Always need more.
Join the group, the Comic Book Conservation Community, and be part of a collaborative group of guys and gals helping one another out, being encouraging, and having fun doing it. That's where you get to mix it up with us and a lot of the other YouTube creators. So, it's funny. Every time we mention that, we get a few more ads for that week. If we don't mention it, we get one or two people that kind of randomly find us. But it's fun. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that is our segue to our B block, which Phil prepared in a very timely fashion.
I did. Indeed. I've shown.
And we got some bangers this week.
Hey, I think I've shown one, maybe two other copies of this book before, but this is one that I haven't shown yet. And
that one I recognize. The number 3 always had that green background.
Oh yeah, it's a book though that I don't really think gets old, even if you do know what it is and you know why it's important. But man, I love this book so much. It's so cool.
It is.
So this one also, man, this was one of those labor of love books. It really was. This is one of those books that I took in and I approved the work, and then I looked and said, my God, this is going to take so much time. and it was one of those books, and you'll see why when I start flipping through. I'll just do one quick info slide, and then it'll just be some photos, so just some stuff to look at, and you guys can come along with us on this journey. And I just want to say one last comment, since we're just over in the midsection, and that is, if you guys get a chance to leave a comment on the video. We love everyone in the chat, but we love whether you just want to say you think the three of us look funny, and you're pulling the kid from The Simpsons going haha, and you want to leave one of those comments towards us. We still love it. Any comments, it helps the engagement of the videos, and
it does.
And we appreciate all of you so much. So whether you watch this live or later, we appreciate you. Just
that's a great point, Phil. Yeah, leaving comments on our folks that are in the chat week in and week out obviously have a lot of interaction there. But if you do take a moment to leave a sort of regular comment on the video, it does help a lot with engagement. It helps bring new viewers in and grow our community. So great point, Phil. Thanks.
You could also say, like, on a scale of 1 to I enjoyed or didn't enjoy this video, and you could tell us why. And we love the feedback.
Oh yeah.
So that said, real quick, we've talked about this book before. If you watch this channel, you're clearly an aficionado, and you probably already know this without me even needing to tell you, but I'm going to say it again anyway. So this book was published in 1941 by Timely. Super early Cap. This is the first time the Red Skull's on the cover.
Pre-war.
By Schomburg. And it's most famous because this book has the first work by Stan Lee for Timely in the form of a 2-page text story. And I dislike that I forgot that cool little watermarked image I usually put behind this right now, because it's nice to see the image, but that's okay, because we're just going to jump right in and go. So this book, you can see here, had some problems. Aside from the glaring spine roll, man, this thing was wrecked with color touch. It's a little hard to tell here, but I think this was, I couldn't find the picture because it came to me already cracked, but this was in a C, somewhere between a C3 and a C5.
Wow.
So based on the scale, and I'll just reiterate in case you're watching for the first time, the restoration scale for CGC, they have A, B, C level. A is professional, C is amateur, B somewhere in the middle. And then 1 through 5, 1 being the smallest amount, all the way up to 5 being the largest amount. So in this case, it was C, amateur, and you're talking about a moderate to extensive amount of restoration on this book. So this wasn't just a light touch up. This thing had some stuff going on with it.
Wow.
In addition to that, the original staples were blown out and they were replaced with, and we talked about this actually at Collector Summit. I know, I think you guys were both there when Matt was mentioning this. There's an era of time when people replaced staples in books with more modern staples that have there's like a dull point right in the center of the staple. It's like a telltale sign. You can see that the staple's been replaced, and you can specify the type of staple too. Mm-hmm. So they'd been blown out, the originals, and there was tape put on every wrap at the top and bottom staple. So that already is a labor of love. And if you know about removing tape from interior newsprint paper with rust migration underneath the tape, you can already kind of see that it's a labor of love.
Well, I mean, if you've been in this game for a while, you've seen books like this. Man, what a splash. I guess it's technically more like a 3/4 splash, but holy moly.
Yeah,
it doesn't get much better than that, huh?
Red Skull right there.
And you've got the first work of Nepo baby Stan Lee in here too.
Yeah, I got a photo showing that too. Hey.
Everybody knows I'm a big fan of Stan. But yeah, I mean, he did get the job because he married Martin Goodman's cousin. So,
hey, it's all in who you know and what you know. And
wow.
So here you can see, without me showing blacklight photos, a little more obvious. You can see that whole top corner actually looks, at the very least, touched and caked with color touch. Mm-hmm. But also there's a very hard line there that is suspicious. Mm-hmm. So in addition to that, along the inner spine, you can see at the top there, that's like an off-white color touch. So this thing has
it's not a cat. Is that an addition, or I'm trying to, what is that? What we're looking at?
What you're looking at
is it whiteout?
It's not. It wasn't whiteout. It's like a creamy colored color touch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah,
like paint.
Like paint.
Yep. So you can see on the right there. That's the the outside cover and inside cover, and on the left you can see I'm starting to kind of remove. I wasn't convinced that the piece was outright added and that it was just caked on with color touch, and maybe there was just a lot of color loss initially. So I tackled it first, assuming that it was an original piece. So I spent quite a bit of time removing the layered yellow on this piece. And by that I mean a lot of time. I don't even have all the photos to show these. But here's quite a few. Hey, look, there's some more.
Wow! Look at all that.
This was, I think, I went through hundreds of these, more than any other project that I've done. So that this yellow was never ending, endless. It just kept coming. I was having dreams about the color yellow after this. So once I got through all of that, unfortunately, I realized that that piece was added. So removing all of the
Mhm.
color touch from the piece while it was still added, you could argue was maybe not a good use of time, but I had to go through the process to be sure.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
so this is what it was starting to look like. And there's more color touch still needing to be removed after at this point. Like all along the inside spine, in between the ad and where the front cover image was, there were horizontal. It was like horizontal wear where there would have been natural color breaks. So none of
Right.
that should have color, if you can envision that.
Sure.
But I kind of needed to take a break.
Basically,
I was,
extensive color breaking spine ticks that were then
yeah,
color touched.
exactly. But as I was saying, I was having dreams about yellow, so I needed to take a little bit of a break from the cover and spend some time on the interior. So you can see here in the interior what I was talking about, just with the tape on the top and bottom staple there on the outside. And then just to kind of prove my point, I don't have pictures of every wrap, but man, I'm not kidding. Every single wrap had some tape on it.
Well, they probably thought they were doing the book a favor at the time.
Yep.
Not knowing.
I've seen books like this.
Yeah. In some ways, it probably did help preserve that paper from getting. I mean, if someone just tried to jam staples in there and didn't do that, it could have definitely caused more damage. So you can make the case that maybe the tape did help preserve it in some ways. And then there was also on quite a few pages tape also at the very top and bottom of the spine where there's a little bit of splitting too. Just preventative. They were like, heck, there's already 2 pieces here. Might as well put a few more, and why not do it on most of the pages anyway? So yes, it was.
That is rust migration.
Yeah. And here, just for the sake of showing it, this is that 2-page text story.
There it is.
Stan Lee, there it is. There's his name. That's there in history. It was written right here by Stan
Lee.
That's awesome.
Yep. Cool. You can pause this and come back and read it if you so desire. Now there's some more evidence. That's all of the tape and the carrier and adhesive that was removed from this book. So sometimes I like to keep that as I'm working on it, and it just show that's the
time you had to put in on this book.
Wow.
Yep. And usually when I'm showing that, there's some pieces of the carrier that didn't make it. There's some, that ends up on cotton swabs, but that is a good amount. And then you can see, just for posterity, I showed just one wrap from the inside, kind of showing. One thing I had to do here that I didn't illustrate was, and it's one of those things that's easy to overlook, but removing all the tape and then having to scrape away all of that adhesive over compromised areas of paper is so much more difficult than you may think it is. And what I really did was, on every wrap, from the reverse side, I hit it with a little bit of methyl cellulose to help stabilize it. And then I removed the tape and scraped the adhesive, so the methyl cellulose made the reverse side just a little stronger, so that way it would withstand me scraping the adhesive off. Because if I just tried to do it straight, then it's kind of worthless to remove that tape if you're just taking a chunk of paper with it each time. Too. The whole point here was to try to keep as much of the paper too.
That reminds me actually of in the conservation literature, one of the ways that they suggest you can remove the adhesive once you've removed the carrier is to use one of these rubber crepe. They're kind of like erasers, but it's a very specific kind of rubber, and it actually rubber cement and other adhesives stick to it. So
it's a rubber cement pickup tool. Yep.
Exactly. Right. It's crepe rubber is what it is. If you want to look into it. And I have an old video where I experimented with it on a comic. The reason I'm bringing it up is because I recently saw, as many of you do, I watch these poster restoration videos on the YouTube or on the social media platforms. And they use a lot of the same techniques we do. But this is usually, lithograph paper. It's a much higher quality paper. I was so jealous because I saw one of these posters got washed and then flipped over. They removed the carrier, and then they literally just took a piece of crepe rubber and they just rolled it right up,
If
and
only.
all the adhesive came off. And I was like, we just can't. You can play with it, and you can get some of it off in comics, but most of our paper is too fragile, and the adhesive is not going to let go like it will that really good lithograph paper.
Try it at home. Let us know how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, there are, you should have one in your toolbox, right?
Exactly.
I have been able to get some off of. I've been able to get some adhesive off some surfaces, but where you want to be very careful is if the paper. It's more like when someone put tape on something prophylactically, like there were no rips or tears. They put it on almost just to like laminate it or protect it. Then that tool works pretty well. If the paper was quite damaged and they're putting tape on it just to hold all the little pieces together, that's not a good tool for that job.
That will not work. I use those tools primarily to clean the artboard for original art. Like if you have some excess.
Oh
yeah. Or just general.
That's that good paper.
Remove exactly.
Yeah, that's usually Strathmore. Or that's that good paper. Yeah.
We'll jump ahead here. So that's I'll go a couple back just to show what that looked like before, right? So
sure.
You can kind of see if you look at the bottom how the wraps kind of jet out a little bit, because you also have the thickness of the tape on each wrap on 16 wraps, adding what builds up to be a little extra thickness.
Sure.
So once all that's removed and the spine roll is settled, that's kind of where it's coming back again.
Nice.
I didn't realize. Yeah, that would contribute heavily to the spine roll.
Yeah. And here's some of those pages too that I showed before with the tape, and now these are all settled back in place, ready for some period staples that I needed to source to make them look as apparently original to this copy as they would look. So
I love the house ads. So if I can do another little aside here, this little Sentinel of Liberty badge, I mean, how freaking cool is that? You know, the JSA had a Junior Justice Society where they had a badge quite similar, right? Anybody in the chat collect these? I mean, I think these are some of the coolest non-comic related collectibles you can find.
They're very cool. And look at that splash page. I mean, dang, the Hunchback of Hollywood and the movie Murder. I mean, dang, that's
another great one. I mean, hard to beat the Red Skull before hanging corpses of Cap and Bucky, but this is up there.
Indeed. So here's of all the work that I did on this book, I am most proud of finding staples that looked like they had enough surface rust on them and inserting them and closing them in this book, where you can clearly see several of the wraps, starting with the outer wrap, were already compromised from rust migration into the paper and, you know, basically disintegrating the paper. So getting these staples in there and closed was a task in and of itself. And really the biggest thing is, if you've done this, getting them closed on the first attempt without having that slight shifting of the wraps, where if you've closed staples before and something slightly shifts, and then you're like, sometimes it's like you're exactly what you're down the creek without a paddle, because you're probably going to cause damage trying to open it and shift and close again when you're dealing with paper that's this weak and fragile. So
you got to get it right the first time, otherwise you're going to be taking it apart again and starting over again.
Yep.
I mean, excellent thing to point out here is just matching staples that have rust so they look like they belong, but they don't have so much rust that they're brittle or destroyed. Right?
Look at that patina. Especially the bottom staple there.
Oh,
you know,
well,
I mean,
well done.
Prove to me it's not original. Just saying, I'm sourcing original.
You know what? I mean, as much as it's crazy to say, great job putting rusty staples in here.
Oh.
Great job putting rusty staples in here, right? I mean,
getting them
that's
rusty
wild.
enough where you can close them and the prongs don't break too.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
was a
Yeah,
sweet
they have
spot.
to be deteriorated. It has to be just a light surface rust, or as you say, a patina, right? Because
Yep.
anything more than that, and you're going to break the legs when you close them.
Yep.
So, getting back to the interior, I was like, all right. At this point, I stopped having dreams about the color yellow, and I was like, all right, I can tackle this again.
Time to wrap up this one.
And basically, what I did was I used alcohol to help excise as much of the yellow color as I could, and then I just needed to scrape the remaining adhesive that had mostly settled into those areas where there was wear and the top level of the paper was already compromised. So as I was lifting it with the alcohol, I was kind of dragging the Q-tips in the direction of those breaks.
Sure.
And then the excess was settling there. And then I just, with my scalpel, scraped away those areas. And then it was basically all removed. So.
For a book with moderate to extensive color touch, this looks pretty good, really, for the removal.
It's really a trade-off of that one big piece on the top cover, because once the book's back together, you can make the argument that, dang, if this was, I don't know the technical grade, but this was kind of there's very few instances where you got a book that's a C3 or above and you're removing it all and you're not killing the eye appeal where it's acceptable to kind of remove everything. So
yeah, absolutely.
So to that point, I think that looks pretty good. I've seen some
really
some
does.
1.5s that are very respectable.
No, it looks great.
Like that. So definitely got some issues, but definitely has less issues than it did before, and that's what we're going for. And on that note, here's a nice before and after, where just from the front cover alone, dang, you got to admit,
yeah, it
you
looks
got a
good.
little bit of color
Looks
loss
great.
in the eye and Captain, but once the spine's straightened out, most of the color touch really was regimented to the spine and back of the spine, so you don't really even notice it from the front.
Wow, yeah.
And then from the back,
that's
much
how
more
most
apparent, but
displayed now is just the front only, frankly, right?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Once it's settled up, so
that's a transformation, man.
It is. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
Cool book. The tape really from each wrap, that was the labor of love aspect of this. The color touch too, removal, but yeah, I believe that's the last. I don't think. Yeah, that's the last slide.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's great, Phil. Your customer must have been happy on that one.
Hey,
great job. Hey. Amazing.
I'm not sure of the after or before grade here, but I figured there was just more of a focus on the work on the book itself, and the technical CGC grade wasn't as important. But I hope you guys liked that book. It's a
It's great. It was great.
Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Almost an 85-year-old classic, timely, and Stan Lee's first work. So a historically relevant, early, badass Red Skull cap cover.
For sure. Great book. Great work. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, that's fantastic, Phil.
I enjoyed that.
Guys.
No, that splash alone. Maybe I need to stop.
Oh yeah, that Red Skull splash is pretty cool.
It's pretty.
What do you guys think? Have I been too harsh on the Timely books?
You don't like? Yes, I do.
You're just more of a. You're more of a.
You're a DC guy.
Yeah.
We know you're racist against Marvel and Timely and everything else, and you're a hater. But who cares about that Spectre guy? I thought he was stupid. He's stupid. I don't want him.
Oh my gosh! I do have a mute for you. I'm really not. I grew up a Marvel zombie, really. Because
most of us did, because that's what was out there predominantly.
Yeah. I don't know. I have some Timely reprints, and I tried reading them, and I was like, "This is unreadable." But maybe I need to give them another chance. Those splash pages alone are, I think I have to recant what I've been saying about the
Oh,
interior.
that was bad. That was back when Red Skull had like a dinosaur head.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
a funky. It's almost like a
Back to that splash.
monkey head.
Dang.
Yeah. No, this splash
Dang.
right here. Wow. That's intense, man.
Even just that one inset panel, the return of the Red Skull. I mean, that just is like, dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just actually, this page would make me reconsider my stance. Oof.
You should see it. I feel like of all the Golden Age books too, some of the centerfolds from Captain America were like, mwah. Like you can see a kid reading the book and just taking the centerfold out and tacking it on his wall.
Well, yeah,
That was
plenty of books
like
without
a piece of
centerfolds for that
art.
reason.
Yeah, yep.
Oh well, chat's jumping in here. DC's where it's at, obviously.
Uh-huh.
It's the old timers. DC was better. The graybeards are like, yeah, DC was better. Only 3 characters from Timely remain relevant. I'm not even sure if that's true. I mean, I assume you mean Submariner, Human Torch, and Cap, but Submariner's like a sea level character, right? At least in my lifetime. And
everyone knows who Submariner is. What are you talking about?
I'm not even sure that's true with the movies that dropped.
It isn't. No, I'm not serious.
I know. I know you're not. And the Human Torch that is relevant is not the original one. So
No.
I think even this statement is charitable to time. But still, look at this splash. Neater is where it's really at. Amazing job. You just got promoted there.
Oh man,
Yeah,
I'm
Dr. Phil.
an unofficial
Honorary degree.
Oh, nice.
Honorary
Nice.
degree.
Dr. Phil.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you've definitely earned an honorary degree.
Oh shucks.
I never saw a Marvel comic until 70. All I ever saw were classic illustrated reprints. Charlton, Harvey, Gold Key, and DC. Interesting. Well, 70 was a good time to pick up a Marvel comic, I think. I think this is absolutely true. Quality comics are underrated. They're definitely. It's a bummer that there isn't more interest in the Golden Age.
Plastic Man.
I mean, I guess actually, if you're into it, it's great because you can get a lot of really great comics published by Quality for not a lot of money. So that's awesome. Oh, he means Bucky. Well, when I was a kid reading comics, Bucky was not relevant. I mean, that's only been in the modern time, but this is true, obviously.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. What do you guys think?
It was a good show.
I had a great
It's
time.
always a good show with you guys.
It is.
Yeah.
I always have a great
Yeah,
time.
indeed. I didn't even know what book I was doing until like 30 minutes before the show. I was like, I gotta find something. And I was like, hey. No, I'm just kidding. I knew I was doing that one. I was already all prepped and prepared, and slides were done 3 days ago.
You're so talented. You can just slap these things together at the last minute.
Oh, jeez.
All right. So the 28th, we'll do our year-end wrap-up show. I'll start reaching out to you.
Yep.
But if you have guest hosted on the show before, you're invited. So put it in your calendar and we'll make that happen. That should be fun. We'll wrap up the year as we like to, remembering the good stuff and looking forward to the even better stuff.
Hey.
Thanks everybody for joining us tonight. Thank you to my amazing and handsome and smart and talented co-hosts, Phil and Larry. And thank you to the sponsors of this show, who are, once again, Don Carter, Salesboy Comics, You Plucked My Last Nerve, Collecting Chaos, Gorilla Monkey 3K. Thank you to all the sponsors we have lined up for next show: Collecting Chaos, Salesboy Comics, You Plucked My Last Comic, The Archivist Adrift, and Gorilla Monkey 3K, who shall remain Gorilla Monkey 3K. Thank you all so much. Enjoy your week. Give us a thumbs up. And until next time, take care of one another.
See you next week, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in now or later. Hey.